But it's a really cool, sturdy, basic locomotive and a nice representation of the real thing. Hi, this is Marlin from Hearns Hobbies, and I just wanted to show you guys the Indian Pacific train pack from Frateschi. We're going to have a closer look. Alright, so the Indian Pacific is one of the most famous passenger trains in the whole world. Definitely one of the most famous passenger trains in Australia. It's one of the few true transcontinental rail journeys left in the world, and it goes clear across the country, east to west, from Sydney to Perth. So it's quite a remarkable journey, and it's on a lot of people's bucket lists. A much more affordable option is a miniature version of the real thing, which Frateschi has been very nice enough to make for us. So let's have a look and see what's in the box. So what is included with this particular train pack is a locomotive. So it's a GC30 series locomotive, it's listed as, and 3 Indian Pacific carriages. So the real Indian Pacific had significantly more than 3, but there are individual carriages available if you wish to expand on this in the future. So there are 2 versions of this available. This particular one is a set, and it includes an oval of Atlas snap track that will allow you to create an oval with what's in the box. And the other is just a train pack, just including the rolling stock and the locomotive. First things first, let's have a look at the motive power. So this is HO scale, which is the most common model railway scale in the world, and especially for Australian modeling. So it's quite a nice scale. 1 to 87 is the scale factor. Have a closer look at the detail here. So nice printing on the side. You've got the Indian Pacific logo, and if you look at the front of the locomotive, there's another logo as well, and a number board, headlamp. Now, these locomotives use quite similar to Hornby and Bachmann branchline. A lot of the British modelers use these style of couplers, which are sort of like a hook and loop coupler. The old Limas also used a similar arrangement. Frateschi itself is a company out of South America, out of Brazil. So it's kind of an unusual arrangement, but it is compatible with the older Lima, and it is also compatible with the Hornby and British Bachmann branch line series as well. Otherwise, these can actually be, you can have these removed quite easily and adapt the KD knuckler couplers, which will make them compatible with pretty much all Australian HO scale contemporary locomotives and rolling stock. So a really nice example. You've probably noticed that the side rails are missing. They're actually a part that can be applied separately. So this bag of parts shows you just inside. You've got the side rails, the walkway rails, and a few other detail parts that you can choose to add if you wish and paint. If this is going to somebody who's younger, it might even be worthwhile to omit those details, as they're quite delicate and can come off quite easily. But it's a really cool, sturdy, basic locomotive and a nice representation of the real thing. So let's put that aside. Let's have a look at the carriage. So it's a nice, streamlined stainless steel, like Bud style carriage, similar to what's used on the real Indian Pacific and on a lot of mid-20th century passenger trains around the world, primarily in Australia and North America. What's really cool about this is the nice Indian Pacific logo on the side. It's not just the pad printing, but it also has its own placard as well, which is really cool. Nice rib detailing. There's glazing in the windows. I don't think you can see through them too much, but it is cool that there is glazing there. And the bogies have a lot of swivel to them, so you could get these around quite tight radius tracks from the looks of it. But yeah, you get 3 of these in the pack, and it presents pretty good value when you consider how much is in there. And we'll put these other 2 aside. As I mentioned before, this particular example contains what you need to put together an oval of track. So this is Atlas snap track. code 100. The code references the height of the rail itself. So code 100 is the most popular rail profile for HO and 00 trains, meaning that this would be compatible with most other HO and 00 scale tracks, like track from Hornby and Pico as well, which is really great if you plan on expanding this in the future. And also the rail joiners that join between two sections of track, they're wired up already, and all that you will need to add, which will be a separately sold item, would be the power supply. So that gives you a lot of freedom to choose how you wish to power it. My personal recommendation would be a simple analog or DC controller from a brand like GaugeMaster, like this Combi model here that they produce. So it's a UK-based company. They actually produce these in the UK, and they're a really good quality entry-level analog controller, ideally suited to a system like this. So that's it, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for having a look at the Indian Pacific train pack with me from Frateschi. I hope you have a fantastic day.